When people come to us having experienced great loss, sometimes all they want is for the pain to go away. But according to Jack Kornfield, it's important to help people learn to truly feel their grief, to accept and even to honor it. You see, the body has a remarkable ability to heal itself, and this capacity extends to our mind and our emotions as well. But how do we harness that healing ability? Here, Jack offers some concrete strategies that can help people honor and accept grief as crucial steps in the healing process.
So sometimes we think that the grief or the sorrow that we carry is wrong, that there's something wrong with us. But actually, it's trustworthy if we allow ourselves to feel it and to honor it. And one of the beautiful things that you learn in the trainings of loving awareness and mindfulness, and I think you learn it as a physician and you learn it, or a nurse, and you learn it as a mental health professional, is you learn underneath this very deep trust in the healing capacity of human beings. That as a physician, you can do a surgery and keep the wound clean, but the body does the physical healing. Or you can try and excise cancer from the body, but the body itself wants to heal itself. And the psyche has this very same deep healing capacity that's trustworthy. And so the tears of grief need to be able to wash themselves through the end. The storm clouds have to finish. And when people come and they say, well, I've been grieving this great loss, this person I was so close to who died or something, and I feel like it's just going to go on forever. When is it going to end? That's the point where I say, well, you're probably half done when you're asking that question. And somehow by honoring it and accepting it, that's a step. Another step is to express it, dance it, show me what it looks like, move with it, write me a poem, a story about the tears, the magnitude of your grief. Is it as big as, a hurricane? Will it wash the waters of the four oceans? Find your way to give it an expression so that not only are you in its presence, but you actually are allowing it. And as you do, as you allow things, they begin to move and turn. And I have learned this trust 100,000 times, that when we turn toward what is difficult and make space for it to open, it will then change and turn. Now, it's also true that we have our habits and patterns. And so people can get stuck, all right, I've released, I feel so much better, and then the next morning go back into their betrayal, upset, outrage, some conflict they've had, or other difficulty, or grief, and run the story about it, which is different than the feelings. So there are ways then to work with the cognitive dimension. And from Buddhist psychology, there are first practices of noticing and becoming really conscious of the stories that are being told. Because if we're not conscious, we just keep running them. And then after training to become aware of the stories and looking at their veracity, or usually lack of it, then there is also substitutions in which you can shift from that story to a story of compassion, or a story of loving kindness, or a story of connectedness with everyone else who has suffered a loss like this. If this person, your partner, has died, you sit and weep and feel the fact that there are 8,400,000 other people this very day who are weeping with you because their partner was lost. And instead of it being personal, you feel it as part of the human lot to hold and carry with tenderness and understanding, rather than something happened to me. Mm-hmm. So all these things help with a kind of shift of identity from it being the small self or the little story to knowing we're part of a greater whole.
So training in mindfulness and loving awareness can help us support people when they're working through the difficult emotions of grief and loss. Now I'd like to hear from you. What strategies have you used in your work with patients or in your life when dealing with grief and loss? Please share your experience in the comment section right below.